multiple assailant law, that is considered a deadly weapon. So that means that Karmelo Anthony, he meant deadly force with deadly force. It being circled with 4 people. 2 people together was almost 500 pounds, 440. That means he meant deadly force with deadly force. If they could have had their way with Karmelo Anthony, we would be singing a different tune. Definition of defense of property. Since Hunter just said that Austin grabbed his property before the fight took place, that means that those boys was aggressive. This young man is sitting up in the bleachers minding his own business. Let me paint the stage since Mike Howard didn't do it for the jury. He's sitting up there invited under the tent. And Tony talks vested up. How you know they coming with aggression? Because we saw how they was walking up to them stands. And they went up in them stands. And Hunter just told exactly what happened. He said, we walked up to him and told him to move. Aggression. He still didn't do nothing. They tell him to move. All these multiple people, 150, 220, 220, maybe 150, 150. Ooh, it's hot. It's hot. It's hot under that tent. You don't know what's going on. The original people that saw the video, it said it happened in a matter of seconds. That's sufficient evidence. The prosecutor has a burden of proving every element of the defense beyond reasonable doubt. If it cannot do so, the defendant is entitled to an acquittal. The prosecution has the burden of proving every element of offense beyond a reasonable doubt. If they can't do so, it said every element, the defendant is entitled to an acquittal. What did Hunter say? Didn't Hunter say, we went up to him? Uh-oh. Oh, Hunter. Oh, Mike Howard. Oh, Prosecutor Greg Willis. Oh, Judge Roach. Oh, Texas AG Ken Paxton. Multiple assailants. Multiple assailants. Multiple. That they don't think that he should have took those measures to protect his life with the weight of a middle schooler. So for everybody that's painting that Karmelo Anthony reached around in his bag and got the weapon, tell Hunter that, because Hunter just said that Austin took his bag. They want us to believe that Karmelo Anthony threw away his future for Austin Metcalf. With this 3.7 GPA, graduating the next month, no disciplinary action, captain of the football, captain of the track, and 21 scholarships. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right, Vessels, here we go. Here we go. How are you doing on this good Monday afternoon? Let me come to the stage. You already know why we're here. It has been exactly 21 days since Karmelo Anthony was found guilty, wrongfully convicted, wrongfully accused of first-degree murder. So as I said, we're going to keep pushing until we hear something. And I got good news and I got a little bit of bad news, but it's still going to work in our favor. It just requires a little time. But hey, as long as God is in it, we don't know what can happen. We already know. Hold on. Hey, I want to start this right here. Let me go ahead and put this right here. It says in John 12:32, and if I be lifted up from earth, I will draw all men to me. This is what we're gonna stand. We're gonna stand here and build our foundation on. So welcome to the room, bastards. Welcome to the room. Free Karmelo Anthony, free Karmelo Anthony, free Karmelo Anthony. I'm not going to keep you long, but I am going to keep you right. The YouTube street is busy tonight, so hopefully all of the trolls and the racists, they're going to other channels tonight, and we could just have some good conversation over here. Now, the information that I'm going to share with you tonight is going to be about this case, but also what you need to do in the future if you ever get called for jury duty. for jury duty. Let's keep going. Let's go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and start. Hold on. It's the room is quiet tonight. Hold one. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? The Savage Brooks. Hey, how you doing, Brooks? Blessed. Yes. What's up, Lady E? Hello, Tony Investors. A good night. Have a good night. Slim081. What's going on? Hey, Tony Investors. SDP1208. And to all of my mods, I have locked down the chat. And to all the viewers, investors, if you have not been subscribed for the last 5 days, I'm sorry, I had to lock down the chat for all of the, the distractors come in here. But after the live, you will be able to put your comment in the comment section of the video, okay? So I just locked it down just to have some peace tonight. I have seen on the Dallas Morning News, Trump said Dallas will host his first Republican midterm convention in September. You know why? Listen, if Texas doesn't know that it is going to be the center of the midterm election this year, I hope they know now. Because if Texas right now is volatile, because hey, what's his name? Lawyer Christopher King had said, I think last week, he said something that surprised me. He actually said that Texas is a Democratic state. And I said, what? He said that Texas is actually a Democratic state. He said, but the Democrats just don't come out and vote. So if this is true, and I know who you are, Versace, that means Ken Paxton. Y'all, look what has happened. Ken Paxton, the AG of Texas, Attorney General of Texas, know that they have messed up in Texas. They know that they have messed up the Democratic voters. And right now they're trying to get President Trump, to come there to rally up all of the Republicans. So Democrats in Texas, we need you to get out and vote. Get out there. Hey, I can't tell you who to vote for, but listen, you need to get Ken Paxton out of that seat. And then there's going to be three Court of Appeals seats open that is currently held by conservatives. Oh, Texas, just do right. Let's see here. Hey, how you doing, Versace? What's going on? Oh, what's up, Den Daddy? What's up, Den? Did you come for the right show? Because we talking serious over here. But I got you tomorrow, okay? I just want to let you know what show you in. 21 scholarships. He was no, sweetie. I don't know who you are, but he was a senior. He was about to graduate 45 days after the incident. He graduated last year. What's up, Justine? Oh, I'm late. No, you're not late. You are not late. But I'm finna go ahead and start. Now, like I said, for the ones that's just coming into the room, okay, and it's a quiet night because you got two other bigger YouTube content creators going on, and so it's gonna be quiet over here tonight. So hey, go ahead and put your comments in here. Matter of fact, they may be over there. Hold on, let me see if I can change this, because it could be more people in that may want me to read their comment. Let me see if I can go ahead and change it behind the scenes. Let me see here. Let me see if I can open up the chats. So everybody, because hey, what's his name? No Captivity with Freezes on, and I think Lakeisha about to go on. So maybe all the trolls are over there, and maybe we can have a peaceful night on Monday. Hold on, let me see if I can make this change. Okay, 2,000 people over there with Freezing. That's good. Lakeisha about to pull another 2,000. That's good. So we can be over here, by ourselves. And then, and guess what? If the room stays small, I may put a link out there, and if you want to come up, hop on the platform with me. Go ahead and share your opinion about the case. As long as I recognize you. Now, if I don't recognize you, you're not going to come up here because you could be an op. I'm not going to recognize you, but if the room stays small, I'm going to put a link so you can come up and talk to me and share your frustrations. Let me see. Let me go ahead. Let me see if I can change it. Let me see. Uh-oh, y'all. I got it. Okay, as long as you subscribe before 7 p.m. tonight, you will be able to go ahead and put your comments in the chats. Moderators, just hold tight, and if it gets too much, just let me know. I fit every show. Come on, Danny. Have you heard about Megan? Yes. Matter of fact, Versace. Here we go. Now, you already know my opinion. Hey, this is why we pushing for Karmelo Anthony. We're trying to put reasonable doubt out there, not because he's just a black young man. It's because we're looking at this case from start to front to back, based off the information that we got from everybody that was in the courtroom, right? And then we even looked at the video. We've even looked at the evidence. And we know not acquittal, not guilty. Matter of fact, Mike Howard could have got this case thrown out at the grand jury. But we'll talk about that later. But I got some audio clips. From some lawyers. Y'all, even he said on Fox News, and Lady E, I found that clip. Even the lawyer named Mark Astro said he don't know what Judge Roach and DA Greg Willis was doing in Collin County. He basically said, and like you said, Lady E, he said that Judge Roach and the DA basically gave Karmelo Anthony legal team, right? This is before he even had a legal team. He basically said he gave him a get out free card. Hold on, I'm gonna play that. Let me go in and show this right here. And once I go through the slides, I'm going to put a link out here because the room is small. And if you want to come to the platform and share your opinion with me, as long as I know your name and I know you, right? I'll go ahead and let you come up to the platform. But no profanity. Just speak your piece. Be respectful. And hey, it is what it is. Now, this is what it is. Today, Tuesday. Oh, my gosh. Danny, thank you. Today is a beautiful Tuesday. Danny, thank you for that. Salute. Hey, how you doing? Run, tell that. Yes. Now, if you don't know this news came out here. As you can see, shout out to Miss Lowdown. She said, they already starting to do some firing in Collin County. This is real. The clerk that continued to leak the Karmelo Anthony family address last year, she got fired. The lady that leaked the Karmelo Anthony, remember, y'all, they said they had to move 8 times. This is why she is the one, and she need to be brought up on federal charges. She was the one that was leaking that personable information. That's why they had to move 8 times. They have finally found her. And do y'all think that Collin County, they took that, that firing? Do you think they initiated that? No, they had pressure because the legal team is already started to I told y'all last week. Matter of fact, today is 21 days since Karmelo Anthony was found guilty, and we're going to keep pushing. Yesterday was 7 days. Today is 8 days since his legal team was assembled. And I want to go and tell you this here. Besides her getting firing, and shout out to Keisha, she had the 2 lawyers on yesterday or today, attorney Andrew Whitaker, and also he's Esquire, Michael Campbell. Excellent interview. So based off that live replay that I caught, this is what the legal team has already done. Yes, Karmelo Anthony team has already done this. And they testified this, the 2 attorneys, because I think they even assisting the legal team. The motion to appeal has already been filed. We already know that, right? Motion to have Judge Roach recused has already been filed, and a new trial motion has already been filed, right? Then she's been fired because of the legal team. You can't tell me not. And then, so this is the bad news. Now, regarding after that interview, and I don't want to misspeak, that's why I'm going to direct you back to her channel to watch that interview with the 2 lawyers. Now, they have already filed the motion within the 30-day window by law, right? Now, this is the bad part. Judge Roach First of all, he would have to recuse himself. Of course, he may not do that, but that's okay. That means after 75 days, if I got this right, he won't have jurisdiction over the case anymore. And that means that the Texas Court of Appeals will be able to remove him, recuse him, and go ahead and assign another judge and another prosecutor to the case. So that's what I got for that interview. And like I said, I'm just paraphrasing, but it was a very good interview. And please go out and support that interview if you have not supported that interview. Okay. And I think that's it. Now, based off what Judge Roach did after the guilty verdict, which we already know that criminal defense lawyer, appellate lawyer, Brian Weiss had already said that was one of the dumbest things that Judge Roach should have did. He said he could see if a prosecutor gives an interview or defense attorney gives an interview, which neither one of them did had in this case. Only Judge Roach's came out. He basically said that Judge Roach basically recused himself when he went out there in that interview and basically said that he believed that he was guilty. Judge Roach, you just messed up. But I just wanted to give you a recap of the interview. Still go out there and watch the interview, okay? But yes, this lady has been fired. Shout out to Miss Low Down for reporting this around 2:30 this afternoon. And we're going to continue. Thank you for bringing us the news on Karmelo. Yeah, sure. Hey, we are a network. We are a network, a team. And y'all, I'm so glad them racists and haters are going to the other biggest channels so we can actually have talks over here and I can focus on this right here. So let's keep pushing. And once I go through the slides, I am going to bring, if I'm put a link out there if you want to come up and speak, okay? So I'm going to do that. Now, this is what I wanted to bring to you tonight. Like I said, you already saw the thumbnail. We need to talk about the elements of injustice that Karmelo Anthony just experienced. And it is the jury. It is the jury because he decided, which all defendants have a right to decide if they want a trial by jury or a trial by judge. This is just a law. And he thought that he would get a better deal with a trial by jury, but we know what that is. So this is what we're going to discuss tonight, what they didn't do and what you should do when you is selected as a jury. Okay. All right, here we go. Now I want to bring this to you here. So remember when, and see all of this with the new retrial, and yes, I forgot to bring this up. They have even filed a motion for a retrial, not a dismissal, not an overturn. Now they still may get that in the Court of Appeals, but they have already filed a motion for a retrial. So we're going to get our wish. Karmelo Anthony, granted appeal, and hopefully get appeal bond, right? And then we'll get a retrial. We would get a retrial. So that means we'll be able to see all of the evidence, and you know the team is going to fight for, and I'm pretty sure the new judge in the case is going to have media in the courtroom for transparency. So we'll be able to see all of this, all the evidence, all the lack of evidence, and we'll sit back and wonder, the jury needs to be brought up on charges. Now, of course, I've done my research, and I'm going to tell you this. Based on my research, the jury will not, when the retrial is granted, the jury will not be forced to testify because they have a right. And depending on what the judge has put in place to protect the jury from discussing the reasons why they deliberated a certain way, we would never see the first trial juries go to the stand. However, my research did show that the new legal team will be able to talk to them behind the scenes. So, hey, and under certain circumstances, who knows? They may not have to talk to us or be back on the witness stand for the second trial. But that doesn't mean that the federal government is not going to come in if they feel like the jury was tampered with. If it's proof that the jury was tampered with, hey, it's going to blow this whole case open, okay? But I wanted to bring this up here. Do y'all remember when Jeff Metcalf had said that both of his twins were they were experts in jujitsu? So this is something else that Mike Howard could have argued, and the new legal case team would probably argue regarding both of the twins, Austin and Hunter, they were specialists in Jujitsu. Now, if it's a lie, Jeff Metcalf told it. Now, but let's say if it is, that means that, forget the prosecutor, because he's not going to argue this, but the new legal team can argue that the person's training gave them a greater ability to inflict serious bodily harm. So what I'm saying, the new legal team, of course, they're going to argue the case the way that it should have been argued regarding in the first case. So they're going to bring up his height, his weight in comparison to Karmelo Anthony, and they're going to bring up that Austin Metcalf and Hunter Metcalf in the multiple assailant doctrine. Besides the number of people that surrounded him, the defense is also going to bring up that the boys were skilled in Jiu-Jitsu, which is going to give Karmelo's Anthony defense team definitely a leg up, okay? Because they're going to prove that Karmelo Anthony was fighting for his life, and we already been through the comparisons. We already went through the weight comparisons, so we already know what I'm talking about. Now let's go to the next circle. So in some cases, a court may find that the way a person used their hands, their feet, and other objects constituted the use of deadly weapon if the capability of causing death or serious bodily harm injures under the circumstances. Now, of course, in my last video, it is rumored that Karmelo Anthony told his defense attorney that Austin had him in the headlock. So if this is true, once they get that crystal clear 8K video, they'll see exactly what happened under that tent. And if this is true, his defense attorney can also use this for Anthony's favor, okay? Let's see here. So a black belt, a professional fighter, is not legally considered a deadly weapon just because of their training, but the training can be relevant evidence in evaluating their actions in a particular case. This is why I'm harping this up, because once we get that retrial and the defense actually starts building a case against Austin, yes, the deceased, the self-defense is going to stand up in court. The self-defense is going to stand up in court. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing. All right. Now, to everybody in my last, how can I say it, 48 hours, 24 hours, I've had people come into my, under the video, they're arguing with me about semantics of where the incident happened. So it didn't happen at a high school. It happened at a stadium that is used by multiple teams. Now that we got that out of the way, this is what I want to point out. Do you see how big this complex is, this stadium is? Do you see all of these? Y'all, it was multiple cameras there. Besides the one that we saw coming through the gate, and besides the one that we saw across the field, there were cameras over here in this small building here. To the left, top left, there were probably cameras here on the track, the scoreboard directly in the middle of the field. And also, I was correct, there is a camera on the backside of the visitor side of the field. So trust me, the defense attorney is collecting all of the video surveillance data, okay? Oh, we got one. I see you. Let's see here. Right, okay. I just said that. There has to be other surveillance camera in that monster field and facility that they have over there. Yes, it's BS. Yes, in my opinion. Right. So I know for sure, and for all of y'all that kept badgering me in the comments and said, oh, it's not a high school field. Oh, thank you so much, because yeah, this is the picture. And I could tell by triangulation, by law, you have to have surveillance cameras cover a field or a particular area. It's called triangulation, but we'll let the legal team do their job. But hey, I'm trying to tell you, it is multiple cameras out there. Look at the cars. Look at the fields. Look, y'all, it's multiple cameras out there. Thank you so much. All right, let's keep going here. Now, oh, this is, I want to show you here. Do y'all see that light pole? Do you see that light pole? You can't tell me there's no camera up there that's pointing down towards the visitor stand. We agreeing. Okay, let's keep going here. I just want to show y'all, there's no way that only 2 cameras cover that whole entire field. Now, thank you so much for all of the love under this thumbnail, the last video I did. Thank you for all the views and the comments and all of the good conversation in the comments. Y'all, I'm taking notes. So thank you so much for still saying free Karmelo Anthony, wrongfully convicted, and just thank you for all the love and support in the videos. I told you I gotta give back. Here we go. Talking true crime. Okay, I like that name. Now, you remember when I said that in the last video, I was trying to help a certain sector of America that was basically, they saw something different than what we saw. Y'all, look at this right here. Do y'all see this right here? And I wasn't even looking for this. I was not even looking for this. I was looking for the stadium camera, right? This picture just popped up, all crystal clear. Now, I don't know who took the picture, but I'm just saying. But do y'all see what's to the right? www.dailymail.com. I don't even know if it's true or not because I didn't want to click it. But Karmelo Anthony dealt 4 hammer blows as witnesses trash claims Austin. I didn't open it up. But do you see what a sector of America is being fed? When I've showed you that Karmelo Anthony that Austin Metcalf only had 1 wound that took him out. And let's go ahead and talk about that more. If Karmelo Anthony really wanted to harm, premeditated murder like they said, do you think he only want to hit? Do you think he would have hit Austin with only 1 hit? Do you see the lies? Do you see the lies? Hey, how you doing, Doris? What's going on, Doris? Do you see the lies that a certain sector of America is being fed? Y'all, hold on. That ain't nothing, y'all. Hold on. Look at this. Look at some of the comments that I'm getting, y'all. Look at some of the comments and some of the crazy narratives that I'm getting. This was when I took the screenshot. So, hey, the video, listen, yo, when I said in the last live, I said, I think they got to be on a different dimension, a different timeline. Something is going on. Do you see what they believe? The video clearly shows Austin come under the tent and sit top row center. Karmelo is down on the end. Karmelo becomes very animated, swinging his arms, getting closer to Austin. Y'all, this is what they believe. This is what they feeding in a certain sector of America. Austin used his shoulder in self-defense to move Karmelo back. Karmelo pulls out the knife and used his whole entire body weight to plow that knife into Austin's chest. Then he pops out the tent, turns back, looks at Austin, and the kids see him holding the knife. Hold on, y'all. Whoa. Okay, let me finish this. He turns to run with the knife, then throws the knife. One girl took the police right to the knife. So you already know about this right here. Something just hit me. So if it was premeditated murder, come on, legal team. Come on, Mike Howard. This is what you should have known what other sectors was talking about. If they thought this was true, and it seemed like there's a certain sector of America that thinks this is true, if Karmelo Anthony, y'all take notes. Make sure you get your notes, your drink, and your vest. Over here, Tony Talks Vested Up, Compelling Sports Edge. If Karmelo really premeditated this murder and had intentions, do you think he only would have hit Austin one time and the knife didn't even fully go in. This a fool right here, because she don't even know that the medical examiner said the blade of the knife they keep talking about was 3.5 inches. But then you got people in America believing that Karmelo Anthony pulled out the knife and used his whole entire body weight to plow the knife into his heart, when the medical examiner said that the blade only went in 2 inches. Do y'all see what we fighting here? That's why we're going to continue to push on social media, X. I don't care if I just have to come here for 30 minutes and say, free Karmelo Anthony, free Karmelo Anthony. I'm going to do something every night or every other night until we get major updates. Free Karmelo Anthony, free Karmelo Anthony. Do you see what we dealing with? Where did this narrative come from? This even conflicts with Hunter's own testimony. Y'all, I played this in the last live, but while this is up here, let me go ahead and play this for anybody that has never heard Austin's, I'm gonna say Hunter's own words regarding what happened under the tent. Because premeditated murder, if Karmelo wanted to do that, why would he drop the knife? Why would Karmelo drop the knife, run to go get a coach, just to come back to the field, and the knife is still sitting up there? If Karmelo Anthony really had premeditated this murder, in no way he would have dropped that knife. He would have kept running and kept running and kept running and got into that car, because I looked at the arrest record. It took them 4 to 5 minutes to get to that stadium. It took the police officers and the school resource officer 4 to 5 minutes to get there. Karmelo Anthony could have been on Interstate 35 or whatever it is, running through Dallas. Karmelo Anthony would have kept going. If it was premeditated murder, Mike Howard, he would have kept going. Matter of fact, Karmelo Anthony probably would still be on the run if it was still premeditated murder. They really believe. She even said the video clearly shows Austin comes under the tent and sits top row. This is under my last video. Karmelo is down on the end. Karmelo can't spell, becomes very animated, swinging his arms, getting closer to Austin. Austin used his shoulder in self-defense to move Karmelo back. Karmelo pulls out the knife and uses his whole entire body weight to plow that knife into Austin's heart, then pops out of the tent, turns back, looks at Austin and the kids, seeing him. Y'all, hold on. This shit is delusional. I'm sorry. Then he pops out the tent, turns back, look at Austin and the kid, see him holding the knife. So instead of taking the knife with him, he turns to run with the knife, then throws the knife. One girl took the police to the knife. I think that knife was planted by the real killer. And that's it. Listen. Hey, how you doing? Hey, the twins must have text message to book, and I'm pretty sure but guess what? We'll never know, because those phones have probably been erased. In the arrest record that I went over, there was a sergeant by the name of Sergeant Bisonnette. She confiscated all the phones. And what happened to the phones, we'll never know. But Karmelo Anthony legal team, led by Russell Wilson and Brooke Claus and Justin Moore and Sean Deravia and Mike Ward, I think. And there's another one. They go get to the bottom of it. Trust me. Free Karmelo Anthony. Free Karmelo Anthony. Let me see here. Okay. It comes as a factory preset for their forefathers. Yes. Karmelo. Okay, I read this one. Karmelo had to be defending himself against Austin because no one saw Karmelo poke Austin. So Karmelo had to be in a defensive posture. Right. Doris. This whole entire thing is screaming self-defense. This whole entire thing is screaming self-defense. Definitely not first degree murder, second murder. This is screaming self-defense, because hey, if he was planning on doing this at the track meet, dropping the knife and leaving it behind the scene. Y'all, Mike Howard couldn't even do. Y'all, let me keep going. Let me keep going. Mike Howard. Hunter said himself that he didn't see the Pope. Right. Come on, Hunter, to the stage. Come on, Hunter. Because I want you to tell who is this Duchess of March 7987. Hunter, come back to the stage and go ahead and dispute all this right here. Because you got people in the other sector, y'all. They don't even know what Hunter said. And they coming up with bull-ass narratives like this. They coming up with narratives like this. Come on, Hunter. Hunter, what you said again?
This kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." And he's like, "Make me move." Also grabbed his backpack. This kid, I drove around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I looked at my brother, and I'm not going to talk about the rest. So.
Lady, what you talking about? And to everybody that was on that call with Megan Metcalf, I listened to that thing again with Willie D. Lord, they lost y'all. Those people say they saw Austin and the twins come in first and Karmelo come in second, and they started all Austin. They said Karmelo started everything. These people are lost. Who is feeding them bulls? Who is feeding them this? Let's keep going. Mello would have been. So it's gonna take me a while tonight because I'm filtering, right? Because I got a small crowd. Thank you. You got 2 other channels going on. They're big. So hey, I'm gonna take my time tonight. Mello would have had to go gadget. Come on with it. I got what you're saying now. Yes. They surrounded Karmelo under the tent like a pack of wolves, with Austin being the leader of the pack. He was being choked out, so you didn't see. Come on with it. What is wrong with the bullies is that they have enablers. That is true. So listen, I just played Hunter Owns words, and we still got another fool in here that would never get the attention tonight. So let's keep going. Now, I do want to play this. Now, I need to be foul. Y'all know me by now. They leaving the room, y'all. Oh, they leaving the room. Amen. So, hey, just like I gave a rundown for Karmelo, I want to give a rundown of the evidence. I'm going to say exhibits that the state of Texas, Collin County, put into the photo zip file that was online. Y'all, they thought that they was giving it to the state in evidence for actually to defend Austin for being there at the track. But they forgot that they left other stuff in there. Well, Tony Talks vested on what you talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Collin County, they left the text message that we all saw, right? But they forgot that they actually was helping Karmelo's case if Mike Howard would have just did his due diligence, right? And just took a look at it. Hold on, where is it? I want to show y'all this here. Now, in the photos file online on the Collin County, let me speed up right here. Now, this is what's on Collin County. I checked today. The photos and exhibits are still there. So everything I'm showing you coming out of the exhibits. Now, Mike Howard, look what Mike Howard did, y'all. Look what Mike Howard did. Do you see the state photo exhibits and the defense exhibit photos? The state had 58 pictures for their prosecution evidence packet, y'all. Y'all ain't gonna get this breakdown nowhere else, okay? So it included some of the pictures that I showed you from the last live, what was in Karmelo Anthony book bag, the bloody clothes from Austin, the pictures here. Now, when you go into the pictures that Mike Howard collected for Karmelo Anthony, y'all, it was only 14 pictures compared to 58 pictures. Mike Howard, the only pictures that Mike Howard presented to the court, if everything was in this folder, was only 13 pictures. Y'all hold your hat. 13 pictures of Karmelo Anthony with Eddie and his family. And in one picture of like a plaque that had Karmelo captain name up there, like a little plaque nameplate. Y'all, that's all Mike Howard had in the defense photo for exhibits. Those pictures that you saw with Eddie, they're in that folder. And in this one picture with a track plaque with Karmelo Anthony that's the only thing that they had. He didn't have a picture of his high school transcript. He didn't even have pictures of the scholarships that Karmelo Anthony had, the 21 scholarships. He didn't have no pictures of Karmelo Anthony with his family, with the pastor getting baptized, even with the little boy that Karmelo Anthony saved. Mike Howard did nothing for this case. It was only, like I said, 14 pictures in that folder. He didn't even have Karmelo Anthony in there with his family. He didn't even have this picture here. This picture here on the screen in that folder showing that Karmelo Anthony was an honor student. Like I said, he didn't have his transcript from the high school, no nothing. From middle school, no nothing. No acceptance letter, no nothing. Scholarships, no nothing. Mike Howard, let's keep going. Right, and 2 jobs. You said I'm lying. They said I'm lying when they just heard Hunter out of his own mouth. And listen, hey, okay, all right. Listen, white America, y'all about to be, and also there's a sector of Black America that is trying to cast Karmelo Anthony to hell also. But that entire sector, that's why I'm starting to call them a sector. Y'all are going to be in shambles when you find out exactly what Austin Metcalf died of and what this judge and prosecution and his defense attorney did to Karmelo Anthony. So let's keep going. Now let me go back here. Now, here we go. They said, oh, you're right, led him directly to slaughter. Only 14 pictures, and 13 of those pictures was with Eddie. Howard was definitely not investigating the case. No research team. Listen, no experts. Let's keep going. Captain of the track and the football team, yes. Karmelo, okay, yeah, right. Karmelo, hey buddy, how you doing? Karmelo was not admitting to the severe stabbing which killed Austin, right? Just like he poked him to defend himself. Yes. We've been proving that over here, Bunny. So going back to the text, that now this is a picture that's actually in the prosecutor's exhibit folder, right? Now they did this to show proof, I guess, that Hunter and Austin supposed to be at the track meet. But what they didn't know and what Mike Howard didn't care to review, right? Now let's go ahead and break this down. One. Now, just like I did for Karmelo Anthony, I'm going to use what Hunter and Austin parents said about them and these text messages. Let's go ahead and go to let me take this down right here. Let's go ahead and go to the blue one. The blue one say y'all probably have already seen this, but this is what you're missing, right? Or maybe somebody has brought this up, but I want to break it down like I'm going to break it down over here. Tony Talks That's It Up. Okay, now this is going to tell you exactly who those boys are. And defense attorney, if you have scouts out here that's watching our channels, hey, thank you so much. This is what you also need to go to the head of the legal team and bring them that, hey, this is in an exhibit. This is photo here. This is the actual photos. These are 3 photos in the exhibits on the Collin County that y'all are going to get in that packet. And this is going to help you build the profile for the twins. Let's go here. Definitely for Austin, because he's the one that was taken out because he would put his hands on Karmelo. Here we go. Go to the blue one. This is the coach now. This is the coach. The coach says, you guys keep leaving early, so just know you guys are probably not going to district meet. This is building character. You dudes never stay and celebrate your teammates, and you guys don't win. All right. So this is the coach talking to Austin now. So what value are you guys bringing to the team besides coming out and celebrating yourselves? Tell me it's from me. This is all Austin responded with that was in the exhibit. Yeah, coach, I'll send it and I'll take their shit up Monday, whatever that is. So, hey, I'm just telling you what is in the prosecutor's exhibit photo, right? Now, does that sound like a coach that was getting frustrated with the twins? Because he said, you guys and you dudes. Does that sound like somebody that had a 3.9 GPA next to the kid, somebody that the community loved? This is what the coach is saying to them through chat. Let's keep going. Now, look at this from the coach. I promise you, this stuff was in the Collin County photo on the website. I said, well, Mike Howard, all you had to do was establish who Austin was. Now, listen. Now, the green is directly to Austin. The green is to Austin. So, we already had the green. You guys never celebrate. Okay. Okay, let's go to the green one. Let me move my head. Let me drop down. Hold on. So y'all can see what the coach had said to Austin. Let me go to the next one. Here we go. Let me move myself back over. This is what the coach said to Austin. Actually, the morning of his passing, 3 hours before he was passing, this is what the coach had said. The coach had, now listen now, I'm trying to show you who exactly Austin and Hunter was, because white America, y'all think that they was sweet as apple pie. This is how the coach was talking to them. Now, let me break this down because you know I've been in the military, so let me tell you this. How the coach is talking to those boys. This is a big indicator that they were trouble. This trouble. You and Red are on an early burst. Get the tent and whatever else you need. Listen to this. Set examples of how to conduct yourself today. He's talking to a 17-year-old twins. Why would a coach have to tell this to two 17-year-old boys who was the eye of the community? Let's keep going. Be a leader? I need you and Red to hold us down. I would be helping with hosting the meet, so I going to lean on you older boys. For sure, coach got you. So let's put this out here. Why would a coach of a track team have to tell them to set the examples of how to conduct yourself today? Be a leader. We already know those boys was trouble. We already know they was bullies. We already heard what the cheerleader said. We already seen the emails from the cheerleader to the coach. Even the mother said, even Megan Metcalf, she said that email was real. But she twisted it up from Austin. Hunter had said that the reason why they verbally assaulted when they called the other cheerleader FB, you fat B, that was a verbal assault. It's because Megan said that one of the twins told them that they was frustrated that they lost and that they didn't feel that the cheerleader was supporting them, so he went off. Oh, okay. And don't forget, in that Willie D audio clip, if you saw that, get to the end where Megan Metcalf is even going to describe when Hunter came to the courtroom for when sentencing was, well, because Karmelo got convicted and sentenced in the same day. So all in that same day on the 9th of June, Hunter got upset at the courthouse. He was literally showing his ASS. And she said, I was sitting over there watching. Megan, you didn't go over there trying to calm your son down. You know why? Because that is the behavior that they experienced, that they always show, and they got away with that type of aggression in the community. Hunter was showing his ass at the courthouse, and you know what? They pacified him. Megan says he was over there because he was upset because he couldn't get in. Just like the Karmelo Anthony family, the security guard wouldn't let them in. That's why they missed the sentencing and the guilty verdict. But because Hunter was over there showing his ass with the investigator and a security guard, I guess they know him. And guess what? She said, this is what Megan said. He turned around and he had a badge, and that's the only way he got into the courtroom. Oh, we got special privileges. Thank you for that, Megan. Thank you for that. That means that it definitely runs deep in Collin County. Hold on. Let me go back to the comments. Ooh, we still small in here. Okay, good. What's up, 420? Hey, I'm gonna go through my slides tonight. I'm gonna show you what the jury is supposed to have did, and I'm gonna show you what you need to do as a juror if you ever get called, okay? What's up, 420 Jenkins? All that fighting, hands moving more, just no more than, listen, Bunny, listen, the officer said it was a utility tool, but they showing us a knife. So that is 2 weapons. But I really think that those boys that was dumping stuff in the trash can, I really think that was illegal drugs. Because once a sector of America, the black and white, the one that they believe that Karmelo Anthony should be rotting in jail, once it come out the primary cause of death, y'all, I had somebody come under my video last night. The video I did last night, it was a sector of Alive. And thank you for all of the beautiful comments. But there's somebody that came under my video last night and said something. Hey, I want to talk to you behind the scenes about this case. I said, look, ain't no lie, y'all, ain't no lie. I said, I don't have time for no trolls or no racists. My energy is only for this young man right here. I said, so if you're not serious, listen, I'm not going to give you my email address. So I'm checking other comments, right, last night. And I stumbled across his reply to my response last night. Y'all, it's pointing to Austin Metcalf passed away with illegal drugs in his system, which is why they were allegedly, I got to put allegedly out there because I haven't received the official autopsy, but in the comment that I got, they're pointing to illegal substance that actually stopped his heart from beating. And that's why they was doing CPR last night. I'm saying at the stadium last year, that it was illegal substance in his system that caused his heart to stop, allegedly. But that's what I'm getting. I'm waiting for the person to contact me behind the scenes with the information. And you know I'm going to be sensitive over here. But once I check the validity of it, I bring it to you. But hey, like I said, thank you so much for all of the comments under the videos. Awesome. So here we go. Now, of course, like I said, these text messages go out. Set an example on how to conduct yourself. Be a leader. No, he was talking to Austin and Hunter, basically saying, grow up. You need to do better. Conduct yourself. He was talking to them like they were little boys. That's how terrible they were. They were terrible young men. And we know that. Now look at the time. At 7:58, when Austin got this text message, he didn't know in 3 hours that he was going to take his last breath. Teach your kids to not bully other people, because how they respond to you bullying them, it's out of their control, especially if you're bigger than them and you have multiple assailants with you and you're taking their bag and you putting hands on them. It is what it is. The first thing they can grab is the perfect weapon of opportunity. So Karmelo Anthony, legal team and legal scout teams, please let them know that this is in the prosecutor's zip file on Collin County website. I'm pretty sure they already got it. But this is how you build a profile against the dead. This is how you build a profile against the dead. Because Hunter, yeah, they can talk about Hunter, but you got to build a profile against Austin. And these text messages are directly to Austin. This is alleged video Rica. Body cam. This is alleged suspect referring to embassy. Listen, hey. You right about that, because remember the police said they was going to the middle school. You're right. Because it was a girl that called the police on one of the twins at the middle school because she was being harassed and bullied. And then Hill took his ass over here, and 3 hours later, he's not living no more. So he met the right one. Let's keep going. Karmelo said, I ain't alleged, referring to the fact that the first officer asked if he was from Emerson. Well, I know how it goes. I'm not alleging that I did it. Talking to Austin, not Hunter. Let's see here. Mike Howard appears to be a criminal law defense. Hey, listen, when I drop the link, you definitely can come up here to the platform and speak, okay? If you want to, you definitely can come up here. And I've been getting your emails, okay? Appear to be a criminal. That's right. He appeared to be a criminal defense lawyer, but I don't see evidence that he is a board certified in criminal law by Texas Board of Legal. Listen, Versace. When for some reason, my spirit is drawing me back to the court TV interview with Brian Wise. And then I went out and looked at somebody else's video about 3 o'clock this morning. They said Mike Howard is not even a criminal defense attorney. He's like some other type of attorney. So Versace, you was about to read my mind, because I definitely was about to bring that up about Mike Howard. He is not even a criminal attorney. So to all of the lawyers that suggested that the family go with him, why did y'all set the family up like that? And Mike Howard, you had a duty as a lawyer to say, hey, I'm not the one for you. Mike Howard, you should have even did your duty and said, I'm not the one for you. I'm not the one from you. Please go out. You need a criminal defense lawyer, but all he saw was the money. He saw them $600,000. This matters because in Texas, come on, Versace. This matters because in Texas, criminal defense lawyer and board certified criminal law specialist are not the same. Come on with it. Listen. That legal team, and hey, Versace, you could be part of them too. That legal team, I'm pretty sure, listen, they are already doing their homework on Mike Howard. And if it comes out that he was even God darn it, boy, ooh, I'm glad they pushing for a retrial. Oh my gosh, listen here. Talk to me. Talk in true crime. These messages reveal the characters of the twins. You got it. And this is from the coach. Let's keep going. The state bar says board certified lawyers are the ones allowed to publicly represent themselves as specialists in a selected area of law. Listen, if you want to come up, that's going to be up to you. You could close your camera. We could go radio style if you want to come up. But I will be dropping a link for you and anybody else names that I know that I trust in the chats, okay? I just got to get through these slides because I want to show you how the jury failed this young man. And I don't want you, if you don't know what you're supposed to do in the jury box, or if it's somebody in your family, you'll be able to spot or be able to tell them what a jury should do, okay? Because you never know what situation you're going to be in life. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up tonight, because I've been on a jury. It wasn't to this magnitude, but they got jail time. Multiple years. So I'm not telling you something that I'm reading or researching. Even if I've never been on jury, I still would do my due diligence and do care and try to share with you. If you ever get called to a jury, if something don't look right, don't send nobody to jail because you may think it's going to satisfy the judge and the prosecutor. That is not your job as a juror. And I'm about to show you this. Hold on, let me go here. Nothing about Karmelo. Right. Nothing about Karmelo is saying he would even, come on. Right. Because if that's the case, why would he run out and run back? Listen, and even if Karmelo, oh Lord, this just hit me. Even if Karmelo, I feel like who the type of kid he was, even if he know that he injured Austin, he would have got help and brought him back and tell him, you know, he would have ran back in the stands to say, hey, he need help. But he was running to get a coach to tell them, hey, he just tried to jump me. Y'all, yes, I believe in his innocence. Yes. I don't believe he couldn't, come on. I don't think he could count on Hunter. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, how you doing, sweetie? Hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm gonna contact you behind the scenes. I got you. Hey, how you doing, Amber Love? Hold on. Everything she said in that video isn't supported by the trial. Everything she said, none of her claims were proven and appeals won't take. Did I even say anything about a new appeal? Did I say anything about a new appeal? Now, if you're talking about this lady here, that's on one that is highly deranged, that came up with this story, I hope, Greg, you're talking about her. But you say everything she said in this video, you ain't even been in here long enough to understand what I'm saying. Oh, none of her claims were proven, and appeals won't take. You're right. And y'all, since I'm educating and sharing everything I know, you're right. Appeals is not going to take new evidence, but the retrial will. The appeal is going to review all of the proceedings and see if it was legal errors. And then they're also going to take in consideration Mike Howard, ineffective assistance of defense counsel. And then they're also going to take into the charges that Judge Roach gave to the jury, which I'm about to bring up. If you don't believe me, and then also, they're going to go ahead and take in the Batson Rule. Y'all know I've been talking about this, but I found somebody on Fox News that basically said that Collin County gave, when they messed up that jury pool and they struck down all of the black jurors who was eligible and said, yes, I'm able to give a fair verdict. This white lawyer on Fox News basically said that Collin County handed Karmelo Anthony what they call it, a free get out of jail card. Hold on. These people just come in here, just hold on. Hey, I'm finna fix this, okay? Free Karmelo Anthony. Free Karmelo Anthony ghosts. Now, let's see here. I'm over here trying to share information with the world and the subscribers, and y'all come in here. You won't get this shine.
No worries.
Now,
when it comes to the sentence.
Now, this is 6 minutes, but this is good information because this is a lawyer. So listen to what he said. Hey, if you need to go get a snack, get some water, go do that. But listen to what he said, because he's about to say something that Fox News media audience didn't want to hear. And this anchor right here, okay? And as you can see, he's white. So let's hear what he got to say. Come on up to the stage, legal analyst and lawyer Mike Aster.
Here, and also the laws in Texas. Does age play a factor here as well, as this crime did happen when he was 17?
So I think there's a couple of things here, Bone. First of all, age obviously is a big factor. And I'm a little surprised. From what I understand, the only witness who testified in the sentencing for the defendant was his mother. I would have, knowing that this was a case that the defense would likely lose, and we talked about this just a couple of days ago, that it was a great case for the state, I would have thought they would have had somebody that could come in, probably an expert, a forensic psychologist, who could come in and explain to the jury why this is a defendant who shouldn't be sentenced to the maximum, why he shouldn't be sentenced to such a long prison, such a long amount of prison, because he's young, he's immature. Perhaps there's something in his history
perhaps there'd been some abuse, something that the jury could hang their hat on. Just to have the mother there saying, look, this is my child, he's my...
Now, that's why I said not all white people or lawyers are bad. He's even kind of softly advocating for Karmelo Anthony. He's saying that his defense attorney should have did more for this young man. He said he should even had an expert there, a psychologist, to speak on Karmelo Anthony's behalf. He's even mad at Mike Howard. Come on with it. You know why? Because Mike Howard has given every defense lawyer a bad name in America. Everybody now is scrutinizing their defense attorneys, which they should have and continue to do. That's why so many lawyers that are not on this case is pushing back and saying, oh my gosh, what did Mike Howard do? Now, every defense attorney, and you behind this camera, please vet your defense attorney, because you could get a Mike Howard or a Sparling or whatever his name that be on Willie D's show. Vet your lawyers. Vet your lawyers. Now let's continue to see what this white man says about Karmelo Anthony and the mess that Collins County has started.
Boy, don't sentence him to life or whatever it was. I'm just wondering, like, what happened? What was in the defense attorney's mind here, knowing they probably lose the case? It didn't seem like there was a whole lot of preparation for the sentencing. And I don't like to second guess another lawyer, but knowing that this was a tough case to win, I would have had that all ready to go. And it didn't seem like they did.
And are they going to be looking for an appeals process now? This is something that comes up a lot right now when we're talking about this case. What could that potentially look like? Is that a move that the defense could possibly move to next?
Yeah, and we talked about this a couple of days ago, right? And I said the two areas where there could be a potential appeal are, one, jury selection, or as I called it, jury elimination. And the second thing was the jury instructions. Now, from my understanding, the judge refused to give an instruction on criminally negligent homicide, which would have been a lesser offense. Now, typically, judges don't want to give additional jury instruction unless there's evidence to support it. Now, if I'm the prosecutor, I'm saying to myself, we have a great case here. The facts are on our side. Why not ask the judge to give that instruction? Because it could be that an appellate court looks at this and says, the trial court got it wrong. They should have given this additional instruction.
What?
So I think there's two main errors here, potentially for an appellate court to look at.
What?
I don't know what evidentiary rulings the trial judge made during the trial, but obviously those will be attacked. And I think ultimately there'll probably be a claim made against the defense attorney for ineffective assistance to counsel.
What?
When I was prosecutor, I testified in one of those hearings. I also represented a defendant where there was an allegation that the defense attorney did not, provide an effective defense for the client.
What?
So I think that's going to come down the pipe as well. I mean, you've got a young man here who's facing potentially 35 years in prison. So they're going to do everything they can to try and get this conviction reversed. And unfortunately, when you are a defense lawyer, sometimes the finger gets pointed at you. And I think it's going to happen in this case.
Mike
There's
Howard.
nothing to lose. Why wouldn't you?
And if this does happen, how long?
And like I said, this man is on Fox News tearing them up. And it happened about 3 weeks ago. Let me go to continue. Matter of fact, it happened before the trial or the day after the trial. Yes. Listen, y'all. Only got 3 more minutes.
How long does this time process look like for an appeals? And does Karmelo Anthony remain in prison during this time if they were to start that appeals process?
Yeah, he's going to sit there. My understanding is that in Texas, you get convicted of murder, you do not have a right to some type of appellate bond. So he's going to stay there. An interesting comment by the district attorney was, how the family got justice, and perhaps for that one day they did. But this case is not over. This could take 2, 3, 4 years to go through the court system. You've got an appellate court that's going to look at this. I don't know if there'll be some type of appeal to the Texas Supreme Court. There's going to be a claim probably made against the defense attorney for ineffective assistance of counsel. And if there's a reversal, this case is going to get retried probably.
Yes.
So I don't see this being over for several years. And unfortunately for the Metcalf family, they're going to have to live with this for quite a significant period of time, which is a shame. It is.
Relax now. He is on Fox, so he has to pander to the audience. But listen to what he said. And I don't think it's going to take years because like I said in the beginning of the live, this woman here, she was fired today. The one that was leaking the Karmelo Anthony addresses and which caused them to move 8 times last year, her ass been fired. She's been fired, y'all. That means they already starting from the bottom, working their way up to the top, slowly but surely. But in 7 days, today is the 8th day, since the legal team has been assembled by Lee Merritt, she's gone. She is fired. And the motion for a retrial has already been filed. The motion for the appeal, we already know, has been filed. And the motion to recuse, Judge Roach to recuse himself, has been filed. Shout out to Lakeisha Keisha when she interviewed those 2 lawyers last night, because they told it all in a matter of 40 minutes. I think they even assisted with the case. But y'all, hey, every day we're getting major wins. So just hold on, and we're going to continue to push free Karmelo Anthony, free Karmelo Anthony, free Karmelo Anthony. Hold on. We almost done with this clip right here. Come on, hit him with the, come on, hit it hard, Mark.
But this is the way our justice system is set up. And you have a young man who's also been convicted of murder, and he wants to have his case potentially reheard.
And to have a case like this that's reheard, how do you reselect jury members for that, as this has garnered nationwide attention? Everybody knows about this case. How do you select jurors that would have no really prerequisite knowledge to this case?
Yeah, that's going to be a problem for the defense. They may say to the trial judge, you know what, Your Honor, we can't get a fair hearing in this county anymore. Can we move it? We'd like to have a hearing, have this heard in a different county where there wasn't so much publicity. So, Pandora's box has really been opened. And that's what happens in a murder case, especially one like this, where you've got 2 young people. You've got a victim who's deceased. You've got a young defendant who's facing a long prison sentence.
Oh, he upset.
It's going to go on, and it's going to be interesting to watch it. But my heart breaks for both families, because they're both losing a son, but especially the Metcalf family, because they're not getting any closure anytime soon.
Like I said, I warned you, he was from Fox News. But listen, of course, he had the panel at the end. What they said, whatever, pander to the audience. But did y'all see what he dropped in there? He put a lot of truth in there while he was pandering to the audience. And he said, what he first said, he said that Mike Howard should have brought in a psychologist, a medical person, just to give Karmelo Anthony, defend him in some type of way. Oh, listen, they will probably never bring him back to Fox News, because he actually was helping Karmelo Anthony supporters and a defense attorney. Come on, let's go with it. I'm screaming, there is more than one knife sloppy crime scene to preserve evidence where the real knife used, not the picture in the court. Right. Come on with it. Yes, Bunny. That's right. Let them keep talking. What's up? How you doing, Shay? You think it? Nah, see, I thought you had left me. I thought you only come around when I talk about Shador Sanders. I think Eddie did it. We said Eddie and Hunter. I believe Melo was fighting to get away. I believe Melo saw the knife and broke away from whoever was holding him. Y'all, that's probably why they didn't want Karmelo to get on the stand to tell the truth. That is also good. I can see that. Because, listen, if Karmelo Anthony did it right, why even go up to the top and look down like this? He looking like this, like, oh my God, is this real? Listen, if Karmelo Anthony, listen, we know it's some crazy narratives out here. They even think we crazy over here. But listen, if this was premeditated murder, I gotta ask you, if Karmelo Anthony came to the track to do what he did to Austin, out of all people, Austin, why would he stab him and leave the knife behind? Why would he stab him and leave the knife behind and run to get help just to come back? Karmelo Anthony would have kept going and going and going. He could have hopped in his vehicle, got on I-35, already knew some way with a stash and throw the weapon away. Why even stay there if it was premeditated murder? Come on, y'all. Them people, woo! But thank you for that shot. Thank you. What's up, Lady PC? Wicked people. Steroids called. That is true. But see, from what I heard in the chat last night, how can I say it? The narratives of illegal substance being in his system is growing stronger and stronger. What Tony Talks vested up? Why you say that? Hold on. I didn't play the end of this. Watch what this lawyer is going to say, which is really the reason why I wanted to play this, for what you heard. And also this right here. I'm glad you brought this up, y'all. Hold your vest. Listen to what, and listen how he's about to end this. I said, what did he say? Hold on. Y'all, listen to this.
As we watch that process likely play out, when we're talking about the appellates as well, how long could that even take when you talk about how long an appellate court even hearing takes, or how long it takes, that whole process?
Yeah, I mean, this could go on for a year and a half, potentially. Does the appellate court want to have oral argument? Right? Sometimes the court says, okay, we've read the briefs. Now I want lawyers to come in and argue the case. And so this could drag on for a little bit. And we may have to bring in another lawyer to do the appeal.
And there's also speculation online of the Metcalf family pursuing a possible civil suit. Is that something that could be pursued? This is just online speculation that we're hearing through social media such as X.
It's possible. I mean, when there's a civil suit, it's not like the OJ case where there was a pot of gold potentially at the end of the rainbow. I don't think there is in this case. But what's interesting about filing a civil suit is they could potentially look to put the defendant on the stand and take his deposition. Now, I'm sure the defense counsel is going to object to that, but that's one of the reasons to file a civil case. You can find out what's really going on in the case. So do I think it could happen? It might. Do I think it gives them any more closure? Probably not, but they may do it anyway.
Listen. Hold on, listen. Oh, shit. If you missed it, and I think I missed it because I was reading, he's going to say that we will, at the retrial, we'll find out exactly how did he pass away. Rewind this video at the end and listen to what he said. We will find out exactly how this young man passed away. I said, what? I said, why he say that? I said, why did he say that? He said it at the retrial. We'll find out exactly how this young man passed away. Let me make sure. I think that was the only clip, so it's in this clip, and I probably got caught up and missed it right at the end. Hold on, let me play the last minute. No
worries. So I did want to ask too, when it comes to the sentencing here and also the laws in Texas, does age play a factor here as well, as this crime did happen when he was in detention?
There wasn't so much publicity, so Pandora's box has really been opened, and that's what happens in a murder case, especially one like this. Where you've got two young people, you've got a victim who's deceased, you've got a young defendant who's facing a long prison sentence. So this is going to go on, and it's going to be interesting to watch it. But my heart breaks for both families because they're both losing a son, but especially the Metcalf family, because they're not getting any closure anytime soon.
And as we watch that process likely play out, when we're talking about the appellates as well, how long could that even take when you talk about how long an appellate court even hearing takes, or how long it takes, that whole process?
Yeah, I mean, this could go on for a year and a half, potentially. Does the appellate court want to have oral argument? Right? Sometimes the court says, okay, we've read the briefs. Now I want lawyers to come in and argue the case. And so this could drag on for a little bit, and we may have to bring in another lawyer to do the appeal.
And there's also speculation online of the Metcalf family pursuing a possible civil suit. Is that something that could be pursued? This is just online speculation that we're hearing through social media such as X.
It's possible. I mean, when there's a civil suit, it's not like the OJ case where there was a pot of gold potentially at the end of the rainbow. I don't think there is in this case. But what's interesting about filing a civil suit is they could potentially look to put the defendant on the stand and take his deposition. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm sure the defense counsel is going to object to that, but that's one of the reasons to file a civil case. You can find out what's really going on in the case. So do I think it could happen? It might. Do I think it gives them any more closure? Probably not, but they may do it anyway.
Listen, it had to be before that, but I know, go back and watch the video. That man, that lawyer there is going to say, we can find out exactly how this young man died. Listen, it's more coming out. It's more coming out. What's up? It would make sense to me that Eddie did it because the big guys would hold, even a whole control Melo's movement while the little guy had a poker. Listen. Who? As you know it, if you just come in the room, a file for a retrial has already been submitted by his new legal team. Somebody has already got fired in Collin County. Her name is, and what is her name is? Melanie Stahler or whatever. She's been fired. She was the clerk that was giving out Karmelo Anthony family's addresses. That's why they had to move all that. That heifer has been fired. Let me go ahead and go ahead and do these clips. Let me see him. Let me go ahead and put it up here. She's already been fired. She's been fired. She's been fired already. Fire. Tony, you giving them nuggets. Emphasis to mind the importance of not being a bully and not letting peer pressure influence them to participate in bullying. And let me tell you one thing. Let's not forget, I know it's been 21 days since Karmelo Anthony has been found guilty. Okay? But let's not forget none of these legal terms. And I'm actually talking to myself. In this case here, everybody that approached Karmelo Anthony, and since Austin passed away, let's not forget commission of a felony in Texas. That is a legal term, commission of a felony. If you are part of any crime where someone has passed away and lost their life, you, Hannah, I'm talking to you. You will get hit with commission of a felony for the unaliving of your own brother. The irony of it all. When it was you, I'm hearing, that was probably initiated all that in the stands. Hey, but they twin, but we know one of them did it. And he said that Austin took Karmelo Anthony book bag. And he said that Austin put hands on Karmelo. Y'all, what if Hunter is lying even about that? What if it was Hunter that took Karmelo Anthony book bag and threw it away? And what if it was Hunter that actually put hands on Karmelo Anthony first? But since his brother ain't here, he's lying on his brother. Yo, what if this thing come out that Hunter is the one that actually took the book bag and put his hands on Karmelo Anthony and not Austin? Y'all know it happens. Whew. Mike Howard, right, was insufficient counsel for Karmelo. Come on with it. Oh, thank you. So thank you so much, Cindy, baby. You don't have to do that over here. Listen, what I'm doing is for free for the family and for justice, and to tell and share all the information that I got. But I thank you so much. Thank you so much, Cindy, for all of your love. Cindy Carr, thank you. State prosecution who went for pay and he didn't know the tricks the office would play. Stupid. Mike Howard, thank you so much. Cindy, thank you, Cindy. You're doing a fabulous job. The information you bring says you should have been here. Yeah, listen. I ain't gonna tell you my past. You think they would make a movie about, listen, eventually they will, Doris. And I think, and I'm gonna keep saying, I truly think that, I really feel in my heart that it's gonna be a Karmelo Anthony law where certain things will have to be in place regarding incidences like this, especially regarding cases where it's race versus race, and that the county, the demographics is huge, where it could be a disadvantage for both sides. Because who knows, this case could have been in a more predominantly Black community, where the white victim could say, hey, the Black boy tried to bully me, and that all was a lie. So I think it's going to come out that eventually in the future, it's going to be a Karmelo Anthony law. And I think the Department of Justice and these law schools, you can't tell me these law schools right now are not having these students do theses and papers on pick a side and give me the argument that the new defense attorney should make in the new retrial? And the other side of the rule, if you was the prosecutor, tell me, how would you continue to present your evidence, even though they don't got no evidence? They don't got no evidence. I'm finna show you something. I'm finna show you something. But thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the love. Yes. Keep your hands to yourself. Don't murder. Let me tell you one thing. In self-defense, all is fair in war. Because when 4 people is approaching you, how would you feel if 4 people was approaching you? See, y'all love to play that side there. And if I'm taking your comment wrong, you should have made it clear as day. But since I'm going to interpret it the way that I'm interpreting it, it's funny that you are the same people where if the shoes was reversed and if somebody walked up to you, 1, 2, 3, 4 people up to you, and everybody is heavier than you, and you got epilepsy, and you feel like they already came up to you hollering and yelling, they and grab your book bag or your purse of your personal items, and they start hitting you. How would you feel? If you go sit there and get beat up, that's on you. That's on you. Because you will get murdered if 3 and 4 people come up to you and bust you across your head and your face and you got epilepsy. Y'all people are despicable. I'm so tired of you after 21 days. Y'all are despicable and you're lying through your teeth. Because if you are who you are behind the scenes, you know if the shoes were reversed, if Austin Metcalf, a young white boy, was sitting up in that stands, and you had a Jaheim, you had a Tyrone, you had a Jaquavius, and you had a whoever else, Denzel, walked up to honor Metcalf, y'all would be applauding Austin Metcalf. Y'all are ridiculous. I don't even think none of y'all even have souls. Y'all are so despicable. You are so despicable to sit up here and know that an injustice was made and this young man was self-defending himself. If you got kids, you need to go look at them tonight and picture them up in the stands as Karmelo Anthony and be honest with yourself. And if you can't be honest with yourself, you need to turn off the lights. I almost said something. Listen, there is no clickbait over here. I put everything in the title and the thumbnail, and y'all still don't have enough sense to understand what is being discussed in the room. Y'all are really slow. Y'all, listen, y'all are just as slow. Y'all, the ones just coming in the room, let me show you how slow they are. Y'all, this is real. Let me show you how slow they are. This is what somebody put under my video last night. Let me move it over. These people are genetically slow. They are genetically slow. Who are we dealing with in America? They can't comprehend. They just make up false narratives. They just lie out the side of their mouth and they ass for no reason. These people are crazy. Look at this. Look, even after seeing the video, this is what one fool put under my video last night. And let me come down. She says the video clearly shows Austin come under the tent and sit top row center. Karmelo is down on the end. Karmelo becomes animated, swinging his arms, getting closer to Austin. Austin used his shoulder in self-defense to move Karmelo back. Karmelo pulls out the knife and uses his entire body weight to plow the knife into Austin's heart. Then he pops out the tent, turns around, look at Austin, and the kids see him holding the knife. He turns to run with the knife, then throws the knife. One girl took the police right to the knife. At least she did get one thing right in this story. It was a witness that took, and hey, you didn't even know, you just identified that it was a female because the arrest record just said student redacted showed the police what a weapon was. So hey, keep on dropping nuggets over here, okay? But do y'all see, after 21 days, why I said, as long as I got breath in my body, as long as I can sit up in this chair, as long as I can talk into the microphone, I'm going to continue to say, free Karmelo, free Karmelo, free Karmelo. Because if they ain't giving up, I definitely not giving up. I don't care if I got one person in the room. I'm not giving up on this young man because they're not giving up. These people are not real. These people are definitely aliens and demons and devils. Do you see how they turned around the story when the video shows everything? Whoo! And they can't read. Because I know I clearly said Karmelo Anthony case in the title. And they blind. God has blinded their eyes. God has blinded their eyes. They don't see Karmelo there on the thumbnail. And they still bring their ashy ass up in here to disturb the peace. So Vesters, moderators, get them out of here. Get them out of here, please. Moderators, activate. I'm tired of this. I'm trying to share to the world on what you need to do with a jury, and they coming in here disturbing the peace. Moderators, execute, execute, execute. And if you come out of this video, I'ma execute too. You would never, ever, ever, ever. You would have to make 3 and 4 other new fake accounts to get onto these videos because I'm tired of you. Go to the channels where the narratives that you want to hear are. But you come over here in our space. What is it about us that attract you to us? Is it our melanin? Is it our voice? Is it our strength? What is it that attract you to us? You can't even stay away. If Karmelo Anthony is guilty, why are you here saying the same thing that Collin County has said? You attracted to us. You are addicted to us. You can't stay away. You need to go look in the mirror and say, what is attracting me to Black Americans that we can't even stay away and give them a space to grieve and talk about law? We over here talking about law and you bringing your ass over here. Hold on. All right, Vesters. All right, I just had to get a little bit off my chest. Okay, now this is what we're here for. So, y'all, let's go ahead. Let's move forward. What I already had you here for 1 hour and 32 minutes. Let me go ahead and get back in my professional mode. But sometimes you just gotta let the pressure off. And they're dumb. They can't see. They can't comprehend. These people are pathetic. They don't even understand the law. Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me go ahead. Since I'm in my right frame of mind, let me show you what the jury's supposed to have did. Let me show you what the jury's supposed to have did. Okay. All right. I got my military barracks back. Thank you, Battle Buddy. Thank you, Battle Buddy. So this is what we discussed last night or 2 nights ago regarding assault, right? So we talked about self-defense, defense of another person, defense of property, which Karmelo Anthony was doing, number 1. Number 2 happened because Hunter said that Austin took his property. And to all of the Vesters and viewers, sorry about that, but hey, I'm on a mission and I shouldn't have got caught up, but sorry about that. Okay. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let me see here. Let me show you this. So, like intent, right? Mistaken identity, necessity, duress. Mike Howard could have used 1, 3, and number 8 and number 9. So this is why we're here tonight. Number 9, insufficient evidence. The prosecution had the burdens of proving every element of the offense beyond a reasonable doubt. Now we already know that didn't happen. Now let me show you what the jury's supposed to have did. Then I'm gonna let you go. All right, now, this is what the jury should have did. Now, if you don't know, when you get called for jury duty, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to be faced with, because you're going to have somebody's life or freedom in your hand as a jury. And we know that Collin County jury did not take their oath or their responsibility serious. All right, let me go here. So you're going to take an oath. It's a form of promise that jurors make before serving on a case. The exact wording varies by state to state, by federal court, but the core promise is always the same: to decide the case fairly based on the evidence. Hey, Justine, 1 hour and 35 minutes. 1 hour and 35 minutes. The juror's oath is a formal promise that jurors make before serving on a case. The exact wording varies by state and by federal court, but the core promise is always the same: to decide the case fairly based on the evidence presented in a court and law as instructed by the judge. Now, you just heard what the Mike Aster had said. He's surprised that Judge Roach did not give the instruction of a lesser charge of negligence. He even said, go back and rewind the video, he even said after the live that he's surprised that John Roach didn't even give the jury an instruction of a lower charge, because Karmelo Anthony is 17, young. It could have been immature. He don't know Karmelo like we do, so he was just giving, some general terms. But he said he was surprised that Collin County didn't give him instructions. So the judge is supposed to give you instructions, right? Now, here we go. A common version reads, and this is what you're going to have as a juror: do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will well and truly try the issues joined between the parties and render a true verdict, listen y'all, according to the law and evidence, so help you God? I want to stress that, because we already seen some of the evidence. We already talked about first-degree murder and premeditation and intent, and we already know that Karmelo Anthony did not have any premeditation or intent to do what he did. Because, hey, thank you for that crazy lady up there, because if that was the case, he never would have dropped the knife. Who drops a knife and you premeditated anything, right? So let's just keep going. I wanted to harp on that, okay? Because we're gonna go into some other stuff, right? And then I only got like 3 more slides. I'm gonna let you go. Many courts also offer a secular affirmation instead of the oath in and in, so help you God. Okay, so what the oath requires juries to do? Y'all take notes, because you will probably be in a jury pool one day. What the oath requires jurors to do? By taking the oath, this is what Collin County didn't do. Jurors promised to listen carefully to all of the evidence. They said Mike Howard did not even cross-examine the lying witness. He didn't even, like we did, we went over the arrest record. We went over the arrest record several times in 21 days. And we was like, what? He didn't even do that, y'all. All right. So that should have been evidence. And I'm hearing that all the witnesses on the stands changed their testimony, right? Hearsay, right? Follow the judge's instruction on the law, even if they personally disagree with them. Decide the fact only from evidence admitted in court, not from news reports, social media, or outside research. I'll hop on that later. Remain impartial and avoid bias or prejudice. Deliberate honestly with the other jurors. Render a verdict that reflects the law and evidence. Y'all, this jury must have forgot that they had the option of hang jury, reasonable doubt, or not guilty. Okay, let's keep pushing. All right, let's keep going. I'm glad they're leaving the room because they can't even read the screen. Come on with it. Now, this right here. The law generally charges jurors with a very serious responsibility to determine the facts fairly, apply the law as instructed by the judge, and return a true verdict based on the evidence presented in court. Now, as everybody said, any video footage is the crux of the evidence, because you can see exactly what happened in the video. This is any video. Mine is trying to read somebody's interpretation, what was told to them by the witnesses, or a draft or a memorandum that somebody writes up. The footage is going to show you exactly what it is. Now, we know that jury in Collin County, those 8 white men, 3 Asians, and 1 Mexican, Latino, or Middle Eastern, they didn't do their job. They failed at this. In criminal cases across the United States, including Texas, jurors typically receive instructions similar to the following principles. Follow the law given by the judge, decide the facts from evidence alone. Consider only testimonies, exhibits, stipulated facts omitted during the trials. Y'all, those pictures that I showed in the last, all the lives, they came from the exhibits from the prosecution side of the house. What in those photos said that Karmelo Anthony did it? He didn't have no blood spatter on his clothes. He didn't have none on his shoes, his pants, in his hair, under his nails. Where's the evidence? The videotape. What did the videotape truly show that we could see? We saw that Hunter and Austin come inside the tent with his friends and go up into the stands and cause hell up there. That's the only thing we really can tell, versus Karmelo Anthony going up and running to the left, coming back in the frame with a coach. There's nothing under that tent that shows that Karmelo Anthony did anything. If I didn't know nothing else, if I came in here blind, going to the courtroom, don't know nothing, and seeing that videotape, not guilty. Not guilty. Not guilty. They didn't take their job serious. Presume let me take this down. I'm so sorry. Presume the defendant's innocent. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. All right, here we go. Let's go to the next one. I think I only got a few more. Let's see it. Go down to the bottom. In Texas, jurors take an oath before serving. They swear in substance that they will render a true verdict according to the law and evidence, follow the court's instructions, and decide the case fairly and impartially. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see here. This right here is the same thing. Oh, here we go. Let's see here. Do I want to bring up the Allen charge? Okay, that's the Allen charge. Let me go to the next one. I'm trying to get somewhere. This is just a summary of what the jurors supposed to have did. Let me go ahead and move my picture up, and I only got 2 more, and I'm gonna let you go. Then I'm gonna drop the link. I will let 2 people up here. I will give you 5 minutes apiece to say your piece or your opinion about this case. As long as I know your name, I got almost a photogenic memory. I remember who has been commenting under the videos. But if you somebody else, you're not coming up here. All right, in Texas. Okay, in Texas. Here we go. And once again, in Texas, the jury should have rendered a true verdict according to the law and evidence. We already know they didn't have none. Okay, hold on. I think, okay. But the jury can't, and I should have said this in the beginning, the jury can definitely get hit with, a juror can definitely get hit with misconduct. Wink, wink. I forgot to bring that up earlier. There is something called juror misconduct. If they found out that I got this in here, is jury misconduct in here? If it's not in here, I'll bring it back tomorrow. There is something called jury misconduct. If the federal government intervene in this case or get involved in this case, they definitely can. The federal government can interview the juries and find out exactly what made them render a guilty trial, especially once everything is exposed in this case on how bad it was and how this whole entire thing was orchestrated from beginning to end, even down to the transport to bird unit. This thing was orchestrated. They thought they was finna get away with a magic trick on this young man. And God said no. God said no. Okay. There's something else I wanna. Oh, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Go down to the paragraph. If a jury intentionally conceals significant bias during the jury selection, don't let the legal team go out there on their social media and find anything saying that they hate Black Americans and that they wish this against Black Americans. That even goes for the Asians. Don't let the legal team have researchers online going through your whole entire social media platforms and saying anything derogatory about Karmelo, anything about Austin, even showing favor to the Austin Metcalf family. That is called juror misconduct. Bias during a jury selection unknowingly violates the court's instructions. For example, by conducting outside research or discussing the case with others during the trial, that misconduct can sometimes become grounds for a new trial or appeal. Listen to all of the new legal team scouts, because don't get it twisted. Everybody only see the 6 that's there. They have a team behind them in each office that's actually doing the work. So each one of them 6, they could have 5 to 10 people in their office assisting with this case. That means that is 120 eyes that's on this case, going through social media, going through documents, going through testimonies and evidence. Y'all, they got an army behind them. So we're in good hands. Karmelo Anthony is in good hands, okay? The misconduct can sometimes become grounds for a mistrial or appeal. However, courts generally cannot question juries about their private reasonings during deliberations after a verdict. That is true. And I made that disclaimer at the beginning of the video. But you know who can? The federal government. This whole one. Except in limited circumstances involving allegations such as outside influence or certain forms of juror misconduct. Oh, this is about to be good, y'all. This is about to be good. If you're interested, I was having a conversation. You can see what the conversation was, right? Let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing, y'all. I'm almost done. Now, these are the elements of a case. So when it goes by, hold on, let me go over here. Let me pull this. I want to tie this in right here. That was slides. Here we go. Slide. I want to tie this in right here and I'm going to let you go. It was right here. We're going to number 9. Insufficient evidence. Here's the tie. The prosecution has the burden of proving every element of the offense beyond a reasonable doubt. If it cannot do so, the defendant is entitled to an acquittal. Did y'all see every element? Here's some of the elements. Here's the elements. Here's the elements. Here is the elements that the jury didn't connect. The jury didn't even, hey, let's just say some of these elements was not even in the exhibits. The jury should have pushed back, not guilty. As a juror, you have the right to say, I don't have enough evidence to find anybody guilty. As a juror, I don't care if you in the back room and y'all deliberating, there's closing statement has been given. If you're sitting at the table, if you're the only one and something is telling you that is still something off about this case, you still have the right to say not guilty. You have the right to say not guilty. But 12 people in Collin County felt like that video was enough. The lack of blood splatter on Karmelo Anthony was enough. That the crime scene documentation, high resolution photographs, 3D laser scans, drones, overhead images, they said that was enough. Look at the blood pattern stand analysis. They said the lack of blood was enough, right? Hey, y'all thought I was playing, right? When I said transfer of stains, impact splatters, you can't tell me this right here, nothing is not going to splatter on you. Like I said, unless he's faster than light and physics. The jury in Collin County said, hey, we don't need no blood. We don't need no more. Keep going. DNA analysis. Did the prosecution say that they found any blood on Karmelo Anthony's clothes? I definitely want to know. But you know what the jury said? It's okay. It's okay. We don't need no DNA analysis. Let's keep going. Now, fingerprints and palm print examination. We have brought this up a lot, right? I don't know if the prosecution even, no, you know what? Because it would have been said in court for the people and the YouTubers and the public that was in there that fingerprints was found on the weapon. Now, I haven't heard nobody that actually was in the courtroom that fingerprints was on the weapon. But let's say the fingerprints was not, right? You know what the jury in Collin County said? We don't got to worry about that. Keep going. They was telling the prosecutor, keep going. All right, let's keep going. So they didn't prove none of this, right? Allegedly, they didn't prove none of this. But I know that photograph, they didn't prove nothing with that video. Nothing with that video. Is this it? Let's keep going. Now the next slide. The next slide. Let's see here. Fingerprints and palm print examination. Tool marks and weapon examination. Blade dimensions. The knife. I did see measurements of the knife in Collin County's exhibit photos, right? Blade conditions, damage to the blade, presence of tissue and biological material, microscopic examination. I'm pretty sure they did something on the knife. But the two officers said, why is two officers talking about a utility tool? Because I'm pretty sure they could have said a utility knife, but they said a utility tool, and they said it looked like a Gerber. So it was two weapons at the scenes because the officers called it a utility tool, like a Gerber. And they didn't bring the real weapon to court. They had a picture and a replica. Well, Tony Talks vested up. What you mean a replica? According to the people in the courtroom, they said that the prosecutor brought a replica in a Ziploc bag. He put his hands in, picked it up to show the jury. Because according to them, D.A. Willis said he didn't want to bring the real tool because he didn't want to put on gloves. I said, what? Hey, if it was a lie, they told it. But hey, we should definitely see what the new legal team is going to do. Because like I said in the beginning, last Monday, 8 days ago, I said the worst thing that can happen to Collin County that should have them shaking is a retrial. Because we will know exactly how bad they railroad this young man on purpose. On purpose. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Now, clothing analysis. Where's the blood transfer on Karmelo Anthony? Fiber evidence. Did they bring that up? Damage consistent with a struggle. Oh, we know that they doctored up Karmelo Anthony arrest photo. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. And medical examination findings. Wound patterns, wound depth, organs of injury, toxicology. Uh-oh. There is rumor. There is strong rumor that Austin Metcalf had illegal substance in his body, which was the primary cause of death. Yeah. Yeah. And what I got last night, I'm actually believing the person that contacted me. Yeah. But we're going to keep pushing. And here we go. Here it is. Here it is. These are all the elements that the jury was responsible for scrutinizing, either saying that the evidence was good enough for a guilty verdict, or saying, no, prosecutor, the evidence is not lining up. I'm not convinced. But 12 people in Collin County said that whatever the prosecution showed them, and we went through all the pictures, they said, that's good enough. That's good enough. Now, we went over medical examination, digital for evidence, surveillance video, phone call, cell phone. Let's bring up the cell phones. Cell phone records, photos, and videos for witnesses, time synchronization of our recordings, and scene reconstruction. Now, I don't know if they did a position of individuals, but the witnesses could not even identify themselves on the video. On the video. The witnesses could not even identify themselves on the video. So how could the jury take that digital evidence, surveillance video, and say guilty? prosecution, DA Greg Willis, what you showed us in that video gives us beyond a reasonable doubt that Karmelo Anthony premeditated with intentions to do that to Austin Metcalf. Guilty. That's what they said. Now, regarding the cell phone records, I showed you in the arrest record, there was an officer by the name of Sergeant Bisonnette that took all of the cell phones. Why none of that was brought up in court? You know, this is why I want to bring up this tent here. Let me show you this right here. And I think that's it. Matter of fact, that was it. I want to end on this one right here. I want to say this one right here. Jury. All you had to say is reasonable doubt. Reasonable doubt. You know what Collin County would have did if it was a hung jury? Retry the case. And guess what? It would have been a new jury pool. And then guess what? It would have been more eyes on the case. If the first case was not a hung jury, it would have been a recase. That's all the jurors had to do. But hey, we're gonna get a retrial. Here we go. But that's all they had to do. Reasonable doubt, not guilty. I don't have enough evidence. Now, this is what, remember the cell phones. This right here. So they want us to believe that this tent, before the incident happened, they want us to believe that students under 1, 2, and 3. Now, we don't know how many students it was total, but we know that it was 21 witnesses. They want us to believe, Collin County want us to believe that 21 people, including 2 coaches that witnessed the incident, they want us to believe that none of those cell phones, that nobody in this whole entire section recorded nothing. They want us to believe that at least 21 people, I tell you what, I'd be fair, I take off 3 for adults, 2 for the high school. They want us to believe that 19 students in this one area, there was nobody that recorded nothing, not even a second of the altercation. Okay, I'm gonna come back to the live. I'm kind of just, I rest my case. Hold on, let me go to the end. I rest my case. They want us to believe that when Sergeant Bisonnette took up all them cell phones, all of those cell phones had nothing in there, no digital evidence to show what happened under that tent. The devil's a lie. You know, those phones had all the evidence in the world of what happened, because everybody know, even at the beginning, it was a scuffle. Even when they saw him coming up there, it was a scuffle. Them phones was out. And matter of fact, Eddie, you all probably already had your phone out when you know they were coming, because them boys came through that gate with a mission. They came in there already hot and aggressive. People already know what was going on. You can't tell me everybody that lied on the stand knew exactly what was going on, or is too afraid to say because of Austin Metcalf is still alive. Because there's one bully that's still alive, and them kids are scared. But listen, y'all better start singing like a canary. Come on with it. They were deleting things off the phone. Come on with it. Exactly what they tried to get all the phones recorded by students and staff. Come on with it. They were stabilizing him in the scene and did not need to go to the trauma scene. You know how many times them schools, come on, yes. And for everybody that corrected me under the other videos, you're right. This is not a high school. Okay, this is a stadium. But look at it. It looks like a high school. Y'all, they was fussing with me in the comments regarding semantics. It looked like a high school to me. Area view, it looks like a high school to me. If this don't look like a high school stadium, okay. But it's a arena. Oh my God, people are crazy, y'all. People are crazy. People are... Okay, there it is, a stadium. I thought he died on it. So, hey V, how you doing, sweetie? So what it was on the scene, according to the arrest record, and if they lied, they wrote it up. According to the arrest record, when they got there, he was unconscious. He was not breathing. So they did press compressions and they was working on him. But when they left the stadium, he was, what's the word? He was back. He was conscious again, right? But by the time they got him to the hospital, he coded again, and that was it. And I said to one of my friends, and we got to remember this for all of us. Like I said, I don't know what your religion is, but you know what my religion is. And I got it from my grandparents and my mother and my family. Even when I've heard how good God is, even in the final moments of your life, there is a small second of redemption. And I really think, because God even says that there is a time of life and he already knows the time of our death. And I think when Austin Metcalf, oh, I'm starting to feel something. I think when Austin Metcalf was at this particular scene and he had lost his life, unconscious at the time, I think there was a war in the spiritual realm. And I feel like, based off everything that the community said about these boys, it was definitely a fight for his soul and spirit. And I feel this is my opinion. You don't have to believe it, but this is my opinion. When they brought him back to life, and between that stadium and the hospital, I think and I pray that he was giving God his life. Because according to what I received behind the scenes, he was a Christian. He was a Christian. And these were young men. But it was just Austin's Metcalf time to go. He passed away with 1 2-inch stab wound, y'all. When people have been walking around here, with wounds in the head, multiple shots, multiple this, and he passed away with 2 inches in his chest. So I really pray, and for real, I'm being honest with you, I really prayed that during that time from the stadium to the high school that he did say, God, I thank you. God, I believe in you. Please, I have the faith of a mustard seed. Even though I'm a sinner on this world, on this earth, I didn't live right, but I still know who you are. Please save my soul. I see you as my savior. Please save me. And at the time he was seeing, ain't no telling what he was seeing in the spiritual realm. But I believe that God is a good God. God is a God of mercy and grace. And at that time when Austin took his last breath, I truly believe if he wanted it, God saved his soul. Because we all got our own decision to make. I don't even know why I even shared that. I don't even know where it came from. But the jury should have did better on this right here. The jury should have did better on this right here. And I'm about to let y'all go. But I said I'm going to let 2 people up to the stage. Let me go in and drop the link. But Collin County want us to believe that those students, teenagers, that nobody had no cell phone footage of nothing. Let me go and drop this link right here. Thank you so much, Cedric. Austin Metcalf allegedly had you hearing exactly what I'm hearing. And I heard it was an F substance. One of the F substance that is tearing this country apart. And the H one. F and H. two of the worst illegal substances ever. So I need to see if that's the same thing. But what you said, Bunny? But thank you so much, sweetie. Thank you so much. I'm doing this from my heart. But I do say thank you. Thank you. But I'm doing this from my heart. Cardiac arrest due to drugs. Why did the EMS they may have contributed to Austin's death due to it? Yes, I'm hearing they passed a hospital because they thought that everything was well. That's the only reason they moved him, because they had brought him back and stabilized him. Yes. Hey, and maybe that's why they're running with the story too, because they don't want to be held liable for the young man. But thank you again, Cedric. I don't think you can tell much from the video, right? There's just some quick movements between couples of yes. Right. They need a lie detector. Yes, we do need to view the toxic. And guess what? Now the autopsy is sealed. They sealed the autopsy. Because normally they, and I brought it up in a live, you can redact like name, you know, because the, well, unless it fell under the HIPAA law, but I don't think so, because even a death certificate is to the public. Marriage certificates is public records. Death certificate is public records. And some people say they have been able to get autopsies. So I need to do my homework to see if autopsies is it public record. And if it's public record, y'all, they have said it. But guess what? That new legal team for Karmelo Anthony, they're going to get a copy of that autopsy. So we should see. Thank you. The boy didn't have a knife on it. Ain't no way. Come on with it. You were just talking. Oh, Lord. Wow. I need attention. I don't think so. You don't even know who I am behind the scenes. Trust me. I don't need attention. Let me see here. He probably carried that knife out. Listen. If we're gonna call it a knife, we're gonna call it a pocket knife over here, because that's why they did not charge him with an illegal weapon. It was a pocket knife. Whatever the knife they found was a pocket knife. Why would he? Right. And why would he leave the knife? Why would he drop the knife? Why would he drop the knife if it was premeditated murder? They was trying to stab. Bunny. They was trying to stab Karmelo, and he poked back. He poked back at Austin. Karmelo got out of the. Come on with it. And it was another fight. Y'all, some people don't even see the other fight. Think about all of them days. They was going to the track meet. Oh, and it was something else I want to bring up about the jury. When it talked about news articles and social media, y'all, they tried this case 1 year later. That jury pool was already tainted. In Collin County. Y'all, that's jury misconduct. Y'all, the trial was 1 year and 2 months later. You don't think that jury pool was tainted? According to research, that is jury misconduct. I don't know what questions was. When I went to jury duty, they asked me, could I make a fair and an impartial judgment based off the evidence? And I said, yes. Of course, we didn't have the internet back there in the 1990s, so it was easy for me. But here it says it falls under jury misconduct. It falls under jury misconduct. Hold on. Let me find it. Let's see here. Let's see. If I cannot find it, just go back through the videos. And I start talking about it around the 1 hour and 35 minute mark. That's why I said 1 hour. Oh, here we go. That's why I said 135. 135 is where I started the information regarding the jury. And I'm gonna let y'all go. It's almost 11 o'clock. I know everybody gotta go to work. Let's see here. Here we go. Jury misconduct. Conducting outside research, using social media, receiving outside information, including news coverage and conversation with friends or families about the case. Y'all, why they said that the jury also had Austin Metcalf Dennis in there? Jury misconduct. And you know everybody that know everybody since, and I think that the prosecutor probably knew everybody on that in that jury pool, maybe besides maybe the Asians or the other minority. But let me go ahead. Oh, Trump is already on the case. Trump, while the legal team is working on the appeal process, Ben Crump was already announced as working on the civil rights lawsuit that he's about to bring to Collin County and the state of Texas, because was it Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, he suppressed that crystal clear video from the school where the original 50 saw it. He suppressed the video. Now, if he suppressed the video because he didn't want nobody else from the public to view it, that's one thing. But why didn't Judge Roth show that video to the jury? Why Judge Roth didn't show the crystal clear video to the jury? Tampering with evidence. So thank you for bringing that up. Let's see here. All right. Now, this is for anybody that want to come up. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and get a link for y'all, and then we'll let y'all go. So I'm going to invite two people to come up. I got to recognize your name. I have to know that you have been participating under the videos in the chats. That's how I'm going to recognize your name. And you can come up because I trust you. I'm going to trust you to speak on this platform. Please do not use profanity. You know, I'm talking about them other words. I even slipped up a couple times tonight. But if you want to come up, please come up. If you want to come up, you don't have to show your face. You could just be radio style, and then I'll be radio style also with you, okay? If you want to come up, and if you don't, I'm going to continue to read the comments, because free Karmelo Anthony, free Karmelo Anthony, free Karmelo Anthony. Thank you so much, Lady E. Thank you. Cardiac arrest. Okay, I read that one. Thank you. Let me go back up. Here we go. They didn't even test the blood on Karmelo's fingerprint. Listen, if the prosecution didn't do that, y'all, this thing was orchestrated. If they didn't even do that, what is that telling the new legal team? What is that going to tell his parents? What is they even going to? And Karmelo Anthony probably didn't know. He never been in trouble. He was 45 days from graduating. 45 to 50 days from graduating. I'm pretty sure he didn't know that. But Mike Howard. Karmelo, that's what I just said. It's orchestrated. Karmelo being set up from the jump. Reasonable doubt all over the place. Prosecution did not prove this case. Listen, let me tell y'all one thing. As a jury, when you get selected and you're actually a jury on the actual jury, please consider everything. It don't matter if the defendant is white or black. Listen, I know how they do us Black Americans, but we are not like them. We are better. Please take in consideration what I just showed you tonight and take the oath serious. Make sure you scrutinize every piece of evidence. And if you got doubt, you have a right to say, not guilty. I'm not convinced. Yes, they are. The NAACC. Yes, it's now involved in the Karmelo Anthony case. My dyslexia just kicked up. Yes, because two other lawyers from the legal team is from the NCAA. No, I'm talking about football. I'm sorry, y'all. I got a sports channel over here too, but y'all know what I'm saying. But yes. Hey, how you doing, Evelyn? Oh, I love you so much, Tony. You have been in your bag lately. I've been watching a lot of your replays. Awesome passion. Thank you, Evelyn. You know, oh my gosh, Evelyn, I'm glad you wasn't in here. And to like I said, to all of my new investors, I came out of character, but for 21 days, I've been fighting these fools, and I got caught up. But I had to get that off my chest because Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. Hey, Evelyn, I love you, sweetie. They never said that they had, right. I wanted the jury, no, but for that part, listen, I'm going to go ahead and give you my answer. I'm going to say yes, because it was no evidence that said Karmelo Anthony intentionally and premeditated to kill nobody that day. I'm going to say yes. The whole thing was framed. Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Versace. Versace. Now that you a member, okay, gotcha. I got you. We talk behind the scenes as members here. We actually go deep behind the scenes in private members only meetings, and we talk. We talk. Okay. So thank you for that, Versace. I think Eddie and the other, of course, yes, because it was another fight. That judge, that Roach judge is brazen, and then Mike Ho. Oh gosh, allowed the start of a lookalike. I just saw what you did with the name. Thank you, Bunny. And all the elements had the real name. Right. Jury misconduct. Yes. You heard juries did what? So guess what? No. Yes, I heard that the juries didn't take no notes, but guess what? That's why the parents missed the sentencing, because they broke for lunch, and lunch is 1 hour. They came back within 30 minutes from going from lunch. The judge came back, the prosecutor came back, the jury came back. But see, before they broke for lunch, when they broke for lunch, a security guard escorted the parents out the room because everybody thought they was going for lunch. So when they came back, everybody came back 30 minutes later, except for the parents, y'all. Even the Metcalfs came back into the room 30 minutes. They already knew it was going to be 30 minutes. And that's how they got over the Anthony family. That's why they was not in the room, because the security guard did not let them back in the room. But because of Megan Metcalf, Hunter threw a fit, and that's the only way he got into the room doing sentencing. I didn't tell it. Megan told it. She said that Hunter Metcalf was not originally supposed to have been into the room, but he threw a fit. He was hussing and cussing. I'm pretty sure he was cussing and fussing, being aggressive, being mad, just throwing a tantrum in the courthouse. And an investigator, that's what the mother said. Investigator walked over, found out what the issue was, and Hunter turned back around, and he had a badge to get into the courtroom. If it's a lie, the mother told it. But the parents was not let back into the room to even see the verdict and the sentencing. So where did 3 hours come from? It took 30 minutes for the verdict. But the jury took 2 hours and a half to figure out exactly what his punishment was going to be. Go figure. They spent more time on the punishment, determine what the punishment was going to be, instead of the verdict. That means that the verdict was already in. The verdict was already in, y'all. Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna read about 3 more chats. It's already been 2 hours and 18 minutes, and I'm gonna let y'all go. Yes, Karmelo backpack was tossed away from him. Yes. You're right. You're also right. Nobody saw Karmelo poke Austin, so he had to be defending himself against Austin while in the headlock. And also, don't forget the other ones. They was around him too. Multiple assailants. Karmelo was surrounded by. Oh, dang! I just saw it. I should have just read all of it. What you say? Come on, my sister, doctor, on them those Edomites. You think a lot of people said Eddie? They all looking at Eddie too, because Eddie took off them clothes. He was bloody too. How are you an aggressor if you right? How are you the aggressor if you sitting with four standing? Listen. They actually been telling on themselves. So my theory is right, y'all. They have different narratives in that community, in a sector, because there's some white people that know the truth and they're seeking the truth. But then we already know it's some black folks that don't even care what the truth is. They just have an issue with Karmelo. Y'all read this while I read the comments. This is what some of them are saying in their sector. This is the story. Oh gosh. Right, Karmelo did the right thing. Yes. Evelyn, here we go. There's only one rule of law established in the Garden of Eden before one man ever walked the earth. Adam was that man. These men made up laws is for the lawless, not the righteous man. Psalms 19:7, God law. You know I needed that tonight, Evelyn. You right on time. Yes, he had blood on his finger. It was a very, it was like it was a pitch. He could have got that in the fall. But what I'm saying is, it wasn't a splatter. His whole hand is dropping in blood. He didn't have blood under the fingernails. He didn't have blood in between his fingers. Y'all, they supposed to have swabbed all that. Where are the swabs? Why the lawyer didn't say how much blood Karmelo Anthony had on him, minus that little peach on the side? Do I got that? Hold on, y'all. I got that. Do I have that? No, I don't have it because everybody's seen it. But that's just a little pitch. Austin Metcalf clothes. I got one picture in here. It's not that graphic, but them clothes were, Titus 3:1, law of magistrate justice is the land. When man made up laws goes against the law of God, his real holy saints rise up and stand up against the wickedness of the earth, lawless. Come on with it. Oh, I'm gonna leave on this one. Come on, Evelyn. You in here right time tonight. Titus 3:1, law of magistrate justice is the land. When man made up laws go against the law of God, his real holy saints rise up and stand up against the wickedness of the earth, lawless law. Come on with it, Evelyn. I got some riders. Hey, y'all, I listen, I'll be back tomorrow. I gotta leave on that one. Hey, that was God sent. Everybody, continue to watch everybody videos regarding this case. Don't let the media bury this case. Remember who this young man was. This young man, I'm gonna bring it back up. He had no priors, no disciplinary actions. He had a 3.7 GPA, 21 scholarships. He was the captain of the football team, captain of the track, and he even saved somebody else's son from drowning. Mike Howard didn't even bring that mother in for the defense. Y'all, come on. If you're a believer or not, we have to stand up against the wickedness of this world, because if not, who knows, in 60 days, 90 days, in 6 months, it could be you or somebody that you know. Know your rights as a juror. Know the responsibilities and the oath that you're going to take, and do the right thing by the defendant. But thank you so much, Evelyn. Thank you so much. So I'm leaving on a good note. Until next time, make sure you get your notes, your drink, and your vest, because we stay vested up over here on 3. Oh my gosh, I got happy. Hold on. Make sure you get your notes, your drink, and your vest, because we stay vested up over here 365 degrees at Tony Talks Vested Up, compelling sports edge. All right, Vesters, I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to keep pushing. Somebody already got fired. The motion for a retrial has already been submitted. The motion for Judge Roach to recuse himself has already been submitted, and somebody already got fired. And that motion to appeal is already in the right hands. All right, Vesters. All right.